Can you solve this tricky polynomial equation? Now, most people would just say, when they see something like this, they will do 2x to the power of 4 is 32, divide both sides by 2x to the power of 4, we give them 16. Then they will have it that x will be, to remove this, they will take the fourth root of 16 to give them 2. You are right, but the solution is incomplete. Okay, now observe that this 4 shows you is degree of this polynomial is a degree 4. So what it means is that the x you are going to have are going to be 4. I hope that is clear. So don't just be too quick to say x is 2. Now, to solve this question, what do we do? Let me show you what you do, okay? So we're going to just begin this with solution. So we're going to have it as 2x to the power of 4 is equal to 32. Now, what do you do first? As you did it earlier, you are free to divide both sides by 2. So you are going to have x to the power of 4 is equal to, divide this, you have 16. Now, what do you do? Don't be too quick to take the fourth root. This shows you that x should be 4. So this is the same thing as x to the power of 4 is, this 16 can be written as, this is 2, 2 here is 8, 2 is 4, 2 is 2, and 2 is 1. So it's the same as 2 to the power of 4. Okay, that means for 16. So we can rewrite this as 2 to the power of 4. Now, what do you do next? This is positive. So bring this to this side of the equation. To do that, you subtract. So we're going to have x to the power of 4 minus 2 to the power of 4 is equal to 0. Now, what do you do again? You can rewrite this to give you x to the power of 2 raised to power 2. You have not changed anything. I will tell you why. Then this, you can write this at 2 to the power of 2 raised to the power of 2 is equal to 0. See your reason for doing that. Remember that each time you have a raised to power m is raised to power n, the powers can multiply to give you a raised to power mn. Did you see? So 2 times 2 gives you back 4, and this times this gives you back 4. So you have not changed anything. Now, this has, if you look at this, it is reminding you of this kind of question. When you see such in mathematics, what does this remind you of? It reminds you of difference of two squares. You see this and this power and this power. So what do you have for difference of two squares? You have it that for every a squared minus b squared, it is a plus b and a minus b. Did you see that? So let this be our guide. To solve this, we are going to have, so from here we are having it as, we can take this to be a and this as b. So we are having, this will give us x squared plus 2 squared, and then x squared minus 2 squared is equal to 0. Okay, now what do we do again? Each time ab is equal to 0, it means a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So let's apply this here. So it means that x squared plus 2 squared is equal to 0, or x squared minus 2 squared is also equal to 0. Now what do we do? This is the same as x squared plus 2 squared is the same as 4. 2 to the power of 2. 2 multiplied 2 times is equal to 0. To get your x, let's remove this. So you subtract 4 from both sides. In that case, x squared will give us, this will be 0, and 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Did you see? Then to remove this square now, you are going to square root. And remember, each time you are taking square root, you do for the positive and negative. Did you see what you have now? Now, there is a negative sign in the square root. Observe it. Now, because of this negative sign, is leading you to an imaginary unit, okay? Which says that each time you have square root of -1, it is equal to I. Now, how do we apply this here? We know fully well that x is giving us plus or minus. This is the same as root of -1 multiplied by 4. Did you see? And this is the same as x is plus or minus square root of -1 multiplied by square root of 4. You split this, okay? Now you know it that x will be plus or minus this is this, which is I, and square root of 4 will give you 2. So it means that x is equal to plus or minus, we have I, okay? So we have I times 2 will give us, so we are having plus 2I, that is one value of x. Then for here, we are also having second value of x as minus 2I. Did you see that? This is the second value of x. Now let's work this out to have. So solving this, we are going to have, this gives us this. You can still use your difference of two squares. So because the sign in between is subtraction. So we are going to have x plus 2 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. Did you see that? So we are having x plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's do this first. Subtract 2 from both sides. We have x is equal to 0 minus 2 is negative 2. You see, we've gotten the third value of x. Now let's do this also. Or x minus 2 is equal to 0. Add 2 to both sides. So we have it that x will be equal to, so the fourth value of x is going to give us, add this, it gives us 2. Did you see that? So you see, we've been able to have 4 values of x. These two are what we call the imaginary numbers. They are imaginary numbers because they contain the unit. This I is imaginary unit. And these ones are the real values of x. So for solving this equation, you observe we got two real values, negative 2 and 2. And for solving, we also got two imaginary numbers. Now let's check these 4 values of x to see if we are going to get 32 in return. So to check, we are going to, let's start with the real values. So we have from when x is negative 2, okay? Put it here. Let's see if it gives us 32. So we have 2 into negative 2 to the power of 4. This will give us 2 into negative 2 to the power of 4 is negative 2 multiplied 4 times. Negative multiplies negative is positive, multiply is negative, multiply is positive. So you're having positive. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 will give us 16. So you have positive 16. Okay. Now also know that because the power is even number, automatically the negative sign must surely be positive. I hope it's noted. So 2 times this gives you 32. So we have gotten 32. Okay. Let's check from when x is 2. So we also try from when x is 2. Put it back here. We have 2 into 2 raised to power of 4 is equal to 2 into, remember we are checking. So this is check. 2 raised to power of 4 is 2 multiplied 4 times. And when you do that, it gives you 16. So we have 2 times 16 is 32. I hope you see that. Now let's come to the imaginary numbers. So we're going to check from when x is negative 2i. So if you put that into this, you are going to have 2 we multiply negative 2i raised to power of 4. Now what do you do? This is the same as 2 multiply negative 2i multiply negative 2i multiply this and multiply this. So let's multiply it out to have. So from here we are going to have, so this gives us 2 into negative multiplies negative, negative and negative gives you positive. So 2 multiplies 2 by 2 by 2 will give us 16. Did you see that? Now we are going to have I will multiply itself 4 times. So we raise I to the power of 4. Remember that I is equal to square root of negative 1. So when you have I raised to power of 2, it means this, okay, raised to power of 2, which means this will cancel, you have negative 1, okay. Now if you now have I raised to power 4, it is the same as I raised to power 2 multiply I raised to power 2. According to your rule of exponents, a raised to power m multiplied by this gives you a raised to power m plus n. Did you see that? So if you add these powers, it gives you back 4. So this gives us I raised to power 4 is the same as this has given you -1. So multiply it by -1, it gives you +1. So I raised to power 4 is 1. So substituting it here, we are going to have 2 into 16 multiplied by 1. Did you see that? And 16 multiplied by 1 is 16. So we have 2 times 16 gives us back 32. So what is your observation? You observe that from when x is -2i, we still got back 32. Now, lastly, let's check from when x is +2i. Okay. Now, if x is positive, so we have 2 into 2i will be raised to power of 4. So simplifying this, we have 2 into 2 raised to power 4 is 16, and I raised to power 4, as we have seen, gave us 1. So this still returns you back to 32. So what is your conclusion? Your conclusion is that x being 2, x being -2, x3 being -2i, and finally x being 2i are all correct as the 4 values of x. And I hope this really helps you a lot. Let's know how much. Ask questions, I'll be there with you. Don't forget to share so that others will learn with you. Subscribe for more tips and see you in our next class. Bye bye.